A very good, lovely evening to everyone present here. Welcome to IRC. We're back here again for round 12. This week has been a British week for the IRC folk. We began with the ACC race on Thursday at Brands Hatch, and now we're finishing it off with the main event at Silverstone for our F1 boys here tonight. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So before we get started, let's, as per the schedule, have a quick hot lap brought to you by my very own teammate, the KC66.
And we're all set to go across the Silverstone circuit and see how it is you do a hot lap around here. Onto the start finish straight as you get ready to encounter Abby, the flat out right hander T1. Through Abby, now through the turn, left hand turn of Farm. As you brake at turn 3, a late apex slightly, which then shoots you onto turn 4 of Arena. Exiting out of Arena, it's important that you get onto the throttle as quickly as you can because that determines how much speed you take through this first DRS section of the Wellington Straight before having to brake at turn 6 Brooklands, taking a very late left apex over there as the car shoots itself out of Luffield, as you can see jumping out of Luffield, then onto Whitcourt, Casey getting massive oversteer through there. Like most esport drivers, we stick to the right hand side as much as we can. Now through the fast right hander of Cops, which then sets the car for the three most beautiful corners of this track, jumping through Maggots turn 10, 11, 12 and 13. These are the Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel complex. As you see, we are jumping out of Chapel, getting onto the DRS straight of DRS zone of Hanger Straight. And this is a massive overtaking zone because a lot of drivers are going to determine their strategy. Talk to Jeff through this section before Stowe. As you can see, the car is going through Stowe right now. Casey not taking too much advantage of the track limits on the left. Locking up hard through Vale, turn 16, as the car shoots itself out of club again. And this is how you pretty much take a lap across the Silverstone circuit, and Casey shows us how to get that done.
A cracking hot lap by the Red Bull number one. He, I believe, must have set a 24.5. May not have been on pace with some of the fastest boys in Tier 1, but a cracking lap nonetheless. Before we get started, I can see that our boys are reading up. But before we jump right into that, let's have a look at the standings and how the season has shaped so far for both the drivers and the Constructors' Championship. So we've got Charles with quite a commanding lead right now, with 850 point lead of 85 points for the Williams team. But a V17 and the Ferrari boys have been absolutely stellar so throughout the season, being so consistent. Because you can definitely see that Williams is definitely a one-man army, with Washing Powder Nirma all the way down in P9. But yeah, a great showing from the Red Bull number one of Vortex last week around, being the race winner in Spielberg. We're really hopeful to see if he can have another great showing tonight. And with me as our analyst and our local hot red, we have Ababaji as well. So say hi.
Yeah, hello everybody. Good to be back, commentating everyone. And I think so. I'm looking at the constructors, and it looks like a really close battle. I mean, it's going to be really exciting to see how the Ferraris perform versus the Williams. I think so. They're closing the gap every race, right? Or am I wrong?
Oh, you're definitely right there. With Shalalak not being able to take the win last time around, that gap significantly reduced, with both the Ferrari boys being in the top five. So very, very close. But don't discount anyone out yet. Uh, for the Drivers'
I mean,
Championship, it is coming down to the business end of things, where we've got Chris Bai who's back, and we've also got other people in really stellar performance right now. So it's still anybody's game. Having said that, let's jump into the action, shall we?
yep, sure. Hope onus is on the Williams drivers to pull ahead. Hoping to see Nirma and Madhav perform better, and even so, hoping that Ferraris bring the fight to them.
Absolutely. It's a clear day, but is there a forecast on what's expected?
It seemed like it was clear throughout, so I think we're gonna get a dry race today.
Good, good to know. So, first cars coming out. So Rambo unfortunately could not join us today. So his car is taken by a Rant. Who else? We've got Captain Cheesecake who's back. He was a little bit of a last minute show, but good to have him back as well. Um, who else? Who else is here? Oh, we got a spin already. That's a nice beginning for the weekend here already. He's
I
on
mean,
the.
better to spin on the banker laps. So I guess it's on there. People are going out on the mediums, getting used to the track. So all's fair game for now. We still got a lot of time to go in quali.
Yep. What's the preferred strategy here? We don't know the race condition yet, but what's your take on?
I mean, if it's ideal race conditions in terms of the weather, I guess it's a easy soft to medium. On same for goes for the anyone below top 10, mediums to softs. It's a lap. You can pit from any lap on 6 lap onwards because the mediums can absolutely stretch to 22 laps. So it's all up to you how much you want to
We've
stretch your
got
soft in.
a slow-moving racing point of Rebel.
I guess they're trying to
First.
avoid Faizan. Yeah, he's on track, so it's fine. I don't blame them.
Gotta take caution definitely during quali. You don't want to be caught out staring us
True,
out
true.
like that. Yeah.
It's going to be ever competitive with Chris coming back on the wheel. We got quite some fast people on track today.
Yeah, absolutely. He was one of the standout performers last season, um, staying and really giving a run for Tanish's money. So yeah, it's great to have him back. He's been away for his exams and whatnot. So about time that he comes back for some redemption.
True, true. As I see, many people just going out on laps, not necessarily pushing too much. So I guess people are still getting used to it. Can't wait to see the first lap that comes in. If anyone even sets a lap in the initial stint right now.
Yeah. Red Devil having another great showing last week. He really is carrying the Racing Point team as well. But I don't know. So far so good his lap, but I have a bad feeling about Racing Point this week. I don't know if they're going to be performing, but I really hope they prove me wrong. Thermo and the Red Bull boys. Look at the gap difference between the two Red Bull boys. Whoa, Vortex straight away with a 25-0. This boy is hot. Red,
Very fast, very fast.
yep, the Red Devil only managing a measly 26-4. And Piyush Gandhi as well putting in his first lap of the day. Damn, 25-0 is a great start.
Yes, initially, especially here early on in the quali, it's quite a good lap time. You can see him probably improve easily 3 to 4 tenths, or I would say even more. I guess if he is quick, if starting this well, I'm pretty sure I'm expecting some early 24s from Bavotex.
So Dawn went out. That's a little unfortunate. Let me just get our other competitor Thermo back into the race if I know how to. Having said
It's okay.
that, eh,
Stand by for technical difficulties.
okay, she should be back. Now BK19 on medium tires. Good, good. Slow
More
and
laps
steady.
coming in, and to be fair to Thermo, he set those laps on on that lap on medium, so it's fair enough. And given we know how what Bavotex is quick, it's a good showing from him. As we see the Racing Points putting in laps,
Going really
Rebel with
wide there.
yeah, BK still probably getting used to the tires. Mediums out just.
Chris Bai again, like standout performing again. He's only 4 tenths away from more Vortex, so great
Really
showing from these
commendable
Honda boys.
given the fact that he's been practicing only recently of the past few weeks back again. So really commendable.
Mhm.
I want to see. Oh, people are not yet setting some of their good laps. I think only Chris, Red Devil, and Vavatex have, and Piyush Gandhi, I would say, have the time. Let's say
Faizan very
people.
sneaky there, stealing some slipstream, but then aborting his lap at the end. Very, very, very weird indeed. But that's Faizan for you.
And those questions are not answered by science either. So I guess move on.
Up,
Beautiful line to there, but he loses his car a bit there, probably
very,
compromising his
very
exit.
tentative on the throttle, but good,
And that
good lap from him.
probably cost him 3 tenths. Yeah,
Yeah.
that could have been a good lap for the initial stint of the quali. See who are the faster guys that are not given a lap yet. Wilster G, I think, probably should set a good lap. Captain Cheesecake also should set a decent lap.
Oh
Avarpan and Madhav.
no! Vinay is out of the session. He's lost it at the end of Maggots and Beckett's. Just seeing that right now. That's
Oh,
sad scenes for the Haas boys there.
probably was having a massive overstay moment coming out of Chapel, and yeah, that's.
Looks like his
I,
wheels on top of his halo. Graphic seats, ladies and gentlemen.
whoa, whoa,
Please
whoa,
avert your
whoa.
eyes.
And it's a Haas which is parked off track. Reminds me of good times. I hope
Indeed,
that leads
indeed.
to the same race. It's very interesting. Let's see if Vinay is the chosen one. Give us a good race.
So Mr. has returned out of the blue. It's awesome to have him back. He did participate in yesterday's Tier 1 race. A good performance there. And now he's back at it again with another showing in Tier 2. This boy really wants some track time as he gets back into terms with the IRC lifestyle. A
Yeah.
decent lap from him so far, but yeah, let's see because
I think you should move on to Varvotex because he's on an outlap. Check where he is on track. Let's
he hasn't
be on
started
board
yet.
with him once. Yeah. Let's
Let's
check with
just
Wilster
stay on
one.
board with Wilster because I think this man is a really big pace. But having said
Oh,
that, he
I know. I
loses it,
know.
gets a lot of
Mas-
the curve and then just
Master
spinning it out.
Jinxer.
Yep,
I think go on with Varvotex here. Starting a lap now. I think we
take
should
it
go
away.
on board for this. Yep, yep. Approaching turn 3 right now. Difficult corner actually. Need to carry as much speed as possible. Again, rotate the car quite well. Oh, and he's just a bit tiny off there. Maximize your exit. Cut the curb. Use the
Oh,
DRS.
backed out of it.
Oh, he's backed out of it. That probably the turn 4 caused him. He tried to get a better rotation on the exit there. Just got a bit on the grass there, which caused him an issue. Madhav out there doing laps on the mediums. Really is waiting for the time to set him. He's trying to pull a Mara, but he might end up qualifying P10.
Let's wait a moment. Wait and find out. A lot of people starting their next laps, both Renault boys as well as Faizan. We got slow moving Dawn. No, he's on his out lap, my bad. Piyush Gandhi is having great pace right now. He's on his second hot lap. Got Dawn swiftly moving out of the way onto the grass. Well, they could have given some slipstream, but they're not taking any chances right now.
Yeah, those are dangerous games you don't want to be playing unless you're really experienced. Most of us spread away from it in tier 1 also. So yeah. Ooh, that car's loaded perfectly. That was some good turn in there at Cobbs.
Did you have a word with your Tier 2 Renault team? Any
Yes, yes,
pointers?
yes. We've had some setup talks, some track talk also. So I'm hoping that there's some info which was valuable and that Don has a good showing this race. This track is really favored by most of the drivers. So I'm hoping that they'll show some excitement in driving around here and probably give us a good show.
Piyush, having said that, Piyush does improve by a couple of tens, moves up to P3. Let's see.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Chris buys on the outlap. Let's see where he is
Oh,
around.
that's a massive moment of oversteer there. Up 17 catching it very nicely. Still charging through, plowing through as if nothing happened. He rocks at the end of his lap. No, I don't think he's pushing. Um, But and do you have any thoughts on why Ferrari, as the team here in Tier 2, just cannot seem to perform or be up to the mark in quali? I mean, it really has been their Achilles heel, if you will, because they have had amazing race pace. Both of them are really consistent drivers, but they just cannot perform to its the fullest in quali. Any thoughts on why that is?
I guess I would only chalk it up to experience because to push on that one lap, you gotta be on the limit where at any moment you'll oversteer, like we saw just Wawotex taking those risks, and sometimes they pay off, sometimes they don't. So you need to tread the line where you're really pushing the car to the limit because that's where the time will be gained. And
Poor
I'm
Don was disqualified from the session for driving the
what?
wrong way. That could have been unfortunate because he must have just lost control and then the game would have just taken care of the rest.
That's not good for the Renault boys. Man, all hope on Piyush. And Piyush improves again. What? Am I seeing things?
Crazy lap times there. And Abhi 17 as well moves up into P3, the 25-3. Yeah, that's really
And
close
that's
up there in the top.
that's considering he had a issue into T1. That's probably a tenth or and a half lost into T1. So
Absolutely, yeah, don't
he
agree with you
seems
there.
like he has a lot of time on board. So I really want to see this last run when people pull out all cards.
Please excuse me while I try to get Piyush Gandhi back into the server, and again I'm doing it wrong for no apparent reason. Ba, ba,
I guess you
ba.
just spam everyone with invites right now.
That is not a bad option either.
And while we are at it right now, we got a new fastest lap. I'm hoping to see who it is. It's probably Chris Bike because he was on outlap, I think so. Yep, and I'm right. I'm always right. You know that,
Gone into the
folks.
24s. Awesome lap time.
Just inching into the 24s. It's amazing. Let's see. I
Keyboard
think
warrior
Wavotex
now.
is on a lap now.
Yeah, I think he is. He's just started it. The end of sector one. Let's see if he's
Pushing
improving.
it, pushing. Getting that sweet exit, maximizing the track. You wanna hug the inside, yeah, it's quali.
Let me just see what keyboard
Abarpan.
warrior does. Yeah, he is on the
Yeah,
medium tires.
he's. I like this. I like this. This is spicy.
Ah, that's a great lap. 26.3 on mediums. Wow, we.
This really spices things up. Oh no. That is a mark. You take the risk. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes you end up invalidating. But
Yep.
still, the initial lap time which Vortex says pushes him up way high so he can afford to take a few risks here and there.
Yep.
Abarpan though is very interesting now. He's on the mediums and that just spices up things a bit. He'll be primed because since it's a complete dry race, that should really put him up into the position to have like a really good race towards the end. But then, given again how yesterday we saw the amount of contact there was into the first sector in lap one, do you think it's a wise decision to start in the middle of the pack?
Uh, it, nobody ever wants to be in the middle of the pack, let's be honest.
Yeah,
You really want to be in the front or at the bottom end of it, so you're just you're safe. But
yeah.
honestly, there's no safe spot in tier 2. You could very well be in the first position and still have a torrid T1. So don't count
Yeah,
yourself safe in any position. Having said that, Rand finally puts in a lap, moves up into P7. Now, can you believe it? We've all the top 7 teams and the top 7 positions. Every single position is taken by a different team. This is how beautifully diverse our Silverstone qualifying is right now.
yeah, that's wonderful. I don't see anyone on a lap that could probably break into the top 10. I think BK trying to set his lap on the mediums, trying to hope for the alternative strategy himself. I
Uh,
mean, given the fact how wide this track is, it still doesn't help you because the first sector is really twisty and filled with hairpins. So you have to really rely on your fellow racer to be aware so they can get through it completely.
right.
I'm really favoring the guys up front and just blasting away. while there's carnage behind them. Cool men don't look at explosions, and hopefully,
They're the ones who make it. Yep, absolutely. Because now Red
will.
Devil's finally on his flying lap. Let's see if he can improve because not a bad showing. 25-3, 25-6, my bad. But considering how close the pack is, even a tenth or two improvement will really push him up the field.
Yep. Here and there, it seems like he's running extra wing.
Oh, and that's an
Ooh, that's definite.
unfortunate cut for him. That's probably the end of his quali if he can even make it to the end. Who's on their lap? Let's see.
Abhi is on outlap, so he'll probably go round for it. And Crispa and Vavortex both pushing out again to run into the final lap. Faizan, Harry Rocks.
Where is Thermo? This seems to be a recurring theme with him.
Yeah, they. I mean, every one of us watching and hearing this, please email Codemasters. Send them your regards. Strongly worded letter would help. And we see impeding happening. No, just moves away at the last moment.
Great, great show or respect for the other drivers and properly moving out even though there's hardly any time left. And BK19 now moves up to P7. Now we got the top 8 with different teams. This is fantastic stuff.
Yep. Top 8 though.
Irex going really deep
Oh,
into left field, and that's a botch of his final lap.
this was. I was really hoping that both Ferraris would step up at the last moment right now to actually get themselves higher up. It's a really important track. We can gain lots of points. Looking at Abhi now, he's gone yellow in the first sector though, so really can't think much.
As
Wow,
Vortex's last chance to get on pole. Is he improving? Is he not?
he isn't improving in the first sector. Let's see how it goes now. Going a bit wide everywhere. Could have been more sharper. That's an amazing slipstream for him. He has to thank Harry Rocks for this. This isn't what Harry Rocks had in mind, I guess, but I guess it works out. You see. And now, as with the last sector, very difficult here. You got to break into the corner, trail breaking it perfectly. Yeah, the car is stable as well. Brilliant exit from Vortex. Oh, that's an amazing screenshot, and he's on pole. Yes, pretty sure.
Fantastic stuff there, Red Bull. Taking the top step, but don't count. I don't know who to count anymore because it is probably
Chris,
the
I
end.
think Chris is on a lap right now.
No, I don't
He's
think
only.
he's already invalidated, unfortunately.
Oh,
So
he was
that's
purple sector one. That's really a shame. And I think that slipstream really sealed it for Vortex. But no, Vortex is a 673. I thought that's a 873. Am I blind? That's a 873, right? Or
it's an
673?
873. Yes.
Yeah. So that's probably a 1/10. Vortex was thank Harry Rocks for that a tenth down the hanger straight. I mean, yeah, interesting.
Well,
And nobody else improving, I guess. Abhi did he? No, Abhi also didn't
we
improve by
did
much.
not,
Right?
unfortunately.
Yeah,
No.
Abhi invalidated. Yes.
And that is your qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that is so spicy. Top 8 all on different constructors. Man, that is. I need to take a screenshot of this. So cool.
And did Abarpan set out a lap on softs again? I don't think so, right?
I think he invalidated. I'm not
26-3,
too sure.
26-3, 26-3 was his medium time, right?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Just showing a soft tire. So he's still in P10. Hope- He probably wanted to be a bit higher, but I guess that works out nevertheless.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool indeed. Very close. I think the top 5 separated by just a couple of tenths. So don't count anyone out yet because the slipstream is quite powerful here. It is anybody's game.
Interesting. Now, how what strategies do people choose out of top 10? Do you think and you see anyone going on hards to softs? Because how people like to experiment in tier two. You think someone will start on hards?
If anyone puts on the hearts, I should as the host of this race, personally take it as my mission to kick them out from the session.
I wish this is what it really could should be like insta kick.
Yeah, that is because the hard tires are absolutely useless here. You can go as far as getting heavy damage at lap one and still sticking to the two stop with a soft to mediums and still be way faster than the hards. The tires
Mhm.
simply don't have any pace in them.
Yeah, I understand. And this doesn't even fit the strategy. The softs, I mean, yesterday in the tier 1 race, people stretched the softs to 16 or 17 odd laps before they pit onto the inters. So the softs are also not a really shabby tire. So if you can run deep into your soft stance, you could literally potentially just pushing every lap non-stop, like the good old times where every lap is a quali lap.
Hmm, I miss that.
This, yeah, this is one of those tracks, dude. What is braking? Everything always on throttle, always changing direction. I love these tracks. Old school, fast.
Flowing. Yep. And yeah, it's time to race. Piyush Gandhi's, oh boy, Piyush Gandhi's unfortunately disconnected and he's gonna have to
You
take
become a sort of
control.
a personal butler, opening the door every time for everyone into the house.
Hey, everyone needs their fair chance, man. Codemaster's not making it easy for anyone, so at least we need to stick out for our own people here.
Yeah, yeah, it's only Codemasters to blaming it. We gotta get pitchforks out, boys.
Okay then, let's hope that he makes quick recovery back into the session. In the meanwhile, oh, Piyush Gandhi's already left. His board's taking none of it. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Yeah.
I mean, yesterday Dipanshu got a 10 place position gain from his bot, so you don't discount these bots, man. They're after all Cody's. And a Barpan already disqualified. That's interesting. Probably had contact. That's going to really set him back because he's starting on the mediums, and those tires really need some heating up. So it's really, really a shame right now, and this probably should have a Barpan worried.
Yeah, yeah. That's they really would like to heat up those tires, but not. Maybe it could be a blessing in disguise because look at this. Look at the entropy in the Wellington Strait. Looks so good.
Everyone just heating up their tires non-stop.
But then I have realized that in this game, doing this so early on is unnecessary and it's just going to
Yeah,
degrade your tires and you're
yeah,
gonna
it's
get
just
no benefit
redundant.
out of it. Yep.
Uh, and people end up doing this on softs, which is even more redundant. Which like you can just drive through the circuit and they'll probably get into the temperature by the last sector, and you can just do a couple of weaves
Yep.
and you're good to go.
Especially
I
when you
think
do
it's more.
this on soft tires, you're at least introducing like 4% wear in a single lap.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This
That's like
is ridiculous. But
you'd be
looking
more
at
better off wind spinning.
Williams' team, 14 and 15, that's. Oh man, I don't know what's going on with Shalalak right now, but he'll be kicking himself.
I
He's got.
think so. He has got controller issues, since I remember hearing in the grapevine that his pad is damaged and he got a replacement one which has no force feedback or something. So he's definitely facing some
Poor
tech
guy.
issues. But yeah, this should give, this is racing. It's all luck, and all this is perfect time for Ferraris to gain some valuable points and bring the gap ever more excitingly close.
Well, my eyes are on this man to see if he can actually put in a stonker of a start. But put in your predictions because the race is about to get underway. Man, my English.
I call T2. I call T1 contact.
I call no contact at all. I have some faith in my boys. Let's see.
I have faith too. But yeah, I would like to see some carnage. Don't at me. And lights out, and
And Piyush
already
Gandhi is
Piyush
away.
Gandhi on lead.
Everyone else
Oh,
is still waiting. And lights out, and away we go. um,
brilliant start by Wawatex. Chris by Tucson behind him, going through turn one. It's
Faizan going
clean, it's
really
clean,
wide,
it's
pushing
clean,
out, and
and
that's a
it's
spinning Abarfan. Damn, that's unfortunate for him. But Shalala getting an insane start. That's a spinning overtakes. He's gone out. Oh boy, he's got picked up a lot of damage. Very dangerous re-entry there, causing more damage for Washing Water Nirma. Monk up to P11 right now, but damn, that's unfortunate for Vortex up ahead. We've got Wilston G all the way up into P3. That's awesome, but that's Wilston G spinning out. That's unfortunate for him as well,
Oh,
because that was the lead Mercedes in the pack.
so
Shalalook
many
now all
Vettel.
the way into P8. An awesome stonking start for him. Abhi 17 right on the back of BK 19. The Alpha Tauri boys, just like last week, all the way up in P2 and P3 right now. Harry Rock's also keeping it very clean. Red Devil applying the pressure on the Ferrari boy. That's great for
The
him.
Ferraris are off brilliantly right now. They've gained positions each and they're on the way. Oh, that's a sliding zone. Oh, good. He saves it. Good car control from his side. Rejoins fairly safely. Now as we head on to Stowe, and that's inside, and he backs off Thermo, thinking the better of it as we head down the
Well,
final few
major
corners.
losers, Wilston G and War Vortex, man. He was easily up on pole. He doesn't have damage, luckily, but now he's putting the pressure back on the championship leader. He's got those fresh soft tires. Let's see if he's going to make a dummy or a move. Nope, thinks better of it. Shalala goes deep and gets that better exit and keeps the position.
He needs to be burning that ERS and getting those positions back as soon as possible. He has the
Look at
pace.
that, it's literally pushing him into the Wellington straight. This man is definitely not taking any
Going
prisoners
down
right
the
now. Goes down the
inside.
inside. I'm so sorry about that. Pushes Shalala
No.
wide, but fair play. Shalala keeps the position there. But Vortex with us really making good use of those fresh
More
soft tires.
grip. Burning ERS. Not burning ERS yet. Come on, man. Use that
Side by
ERS.
side into the cops corner.
Ooh. Brilliant racing from both the drivers.
Little
Powertex
bit of
running a bit
contact
wide.
there, but nothing to it so far. Weekend 19 has lost the position to Abhi 17. He's made that move out of cops. So Abhi 17 into the podium positions there. Superb stuff. Now
Can we bring up the
Shalala.
tires?
Yep, just a second there.
Seems like Madhav is up there, the highest medium runners. Oh no, Faizan taking it to the charge on the mediums.
Shalala getting easy move on Rant, moving up into P8. Chris Bike setting the fastest lap of anyone. Vortex now right on the back of Rant. He really wants to dispose of him quickly because his rival is walking away with it. But Rant getting an awesome exit out of Abbey, and now he's right on the back of Shalala.
Let's see, all eyes are on Vortex.
Vinay's
Abarpan
gone,
now.
lost it like the Grosjean. Got a safety car as a result of that. Now, really.
Now I don't think anyone really wants to pit right now. And as we can see at the bottom of the grid, there's Washing Powder and Captain Cheesecake on hearts. So you've got your guys who you don't need to be kicked right now. And drive through penalty for Abarpan for speeding under safety car. The race keeps getting more worse for him by the minute. It's just a string of unfortunate events. Really a shame. Let's see how he can bounce back from this.
That's a shame. What would you do in this scenario? Would you stay out? Would you go in? Would you go on the hard tires and risk it? It's really not the ideal thing that you want to be doing, but
I mean, it's pre-5 lap. There's no one really who really wants to actually pit. So I don't think so. I would probably stay out. But going on to hards is really not an option. You could probably go on for a two-stop, which is really nice, but it's not really worth it this early on in the race just to stay out.
but
And people are
many
going.
people are not listening to you. And we've got BK19, Red Devil, Harry Rocks, and Vortex going into the pits. So I want to see what
guess-
they're up to, man.
I guess it's a reactionary call. You see the guys going, we are fighting. You want to do the same thing. I don't blame them.
No, the medium tires. Wow, okay. How about
Oh yeah, now that we spoke about it, I remember mentioning the mediums can go up to 22 laps, so this is right in the window. You can
Interesting.
stretch them, and especially if you got on a safety car for the lap or two, so
Yep,
you'll
yep.
probably be right in the window to finish on the mediums. So I think this is a genius strategy call if they can push it towards the end. So yeah,
Let's see if we can
Piyush
get
Gandhi, is he in
Piyush.
the race with us or is his bot
He
right now?
currently isn't, but let's see if I can get him back. It would be a big shame if we lost him, but I don't see any sign of him. Yeah, probably lost out. He'll probably, and the worst thing is he's in the beginning. He's the lead car, so this restart is gonna be really really messy, ladies and gentlemen. Now gonna
I'm
be
still surprised, how did Piyush Gandhi not pick up a drive-through? Didn't he jump the start or?
no. So he never started the race. Okay, let's be clear about that. Oh, Rand coming really, really close to Shadalak. Luckily, no contact there, but Piyush Gandhi never started the race. And we know that there's a glitch where the rest of the grid, anyone who is human and has control of the car, starts around 5 seconds late. That's when the lights go out for them. But
Hmm.
then Piyush Gandhi, being an AI, he doesn't have to wait. So as soon as the game gives him the go, that's pretty much synced up with my host settings. He went as soon as the lights went out on our screen, and that's
Okay.
why he got probably a 7 to 8 second lead to start out with.
So how does that work out in the sportsmanship? So like, does he get to keep the position, I guess, or what?
I don't think he's
And
coming back looking at how it is, but if we did, then I'll probably have to go to the stewards, but we might disqualify him.
hmm, interesting. Shame for him. He was really quick. Let's see if he can still make it back. And if he sees the position, I guess it's a fair play to him. But yeah, I don't know how you'd end up deciding that which position he goes down to. But anyways, we are in the safety car. People getting 5 second penalty for ignoring yellow flag. Oh, how does that work?
I don't know, man. You gotta ask them. Gotta be a special kind of genius to get penalties and warnings during safety car.
I mean,
But
that's a penalty is a weird one. Like ignoring yellow flags, what do you mean? You mean he doesn't keep his delta or something? That has to be a
probably
drive
must have
through,
made
right?
an overtake under the safety
Uh,
car, but he's still
yeah.
behind him. I don't know.
Back bunching up now as we see more people put on the hards. Okay. So we saw Burpan get on the hards. Som De Monk
I think these people
joining the.
started on the medium tires and they don't really have much of a option here. But honestly, if I were in their place, I would have done a double stop,
Yeah.
gone to the hards and back onto fresh softs if they did pick the harder option. But that really makes sense because that would be a last stop and you would probably be starting at the back of the field, but you wouldn't have to make that stop again.
Yeah, but then again, it's Silverstone. Overtaking in Silverstone is quite a hassle in itself. Even though it's a wide track, there's not necessarily much places where you can make it happen. So I don't blame them for going for it. But yeah, hards again. I think they could do the big brain move and pit again on the on the next lap after they pit for the hards and then put on mediums again. That would have made more sense. But I guess that is privy to only players who've played much more. Even looking at that, I'm still now concerned for the front runners who are on softs. Because the guys that are on fresh mediums, they can probably end the race on this medium if they can just. And we're back to racing, by the way. So as you see Chris Bhai chasing the bot of Piyush Gandhi, Madhav on the mediums ahead of him, Faizan. Both are on mediums. They've placed themselves quite in a beautiful position right now in the race as they are running on the alternate strategy way high up. So they want to protect the position as much as possible from the soft runners behind. Ooh, and that was a close contact between
A bit of a luck up
Iron.
between the Racing Point and the Ferrari.
Yeah.
Luckily, nobody ended up hurt there. BK19 very close to Don right now. Don choosing not to pit. Very interesting strategy there.
Yeah.
But yeah, BK19
I guess he needed
swift
the
work
team
of him.
principle.
Wong getting a 10-second time penalty. Oh, that's a lot. A
For what?
B17
For
right
what?
on the back of Chris Bay right now. Unfortunately, Chris Bay.
Sets up
Yeah.
purple sector one, dude. He's on it. He's on it. He's on to catch Chris Bhai. I think Chris Bhai is suffering in the dirty air of the bot of Piyush
Oh, Rand
Gandhi.
spun
Oh,
out. That's, I believe,
spun
the
out.
end of Cobbs. Yeah, that's kind of great position to be finding yourself off. But Abhi17 right on the back of Chris by, looking to go around the outside into Stowe, but nothing doing there.
Switchback line, but it's too much grass. He's going to lose some speed because of that. Oh, if he had nailed that turn in, he probably would have the rundown on Chris. But Chris maintaining the position now, finally into some clean air, hoping to make up the gap as we see warnings come up for people. It's
Yep.
interesting choice. Let's see. I'm really interested as to where Chris and Abhi end up hitting because they are on a strategy which might actually impede them down the race for the run. But yeah, it's still Faizan and Madhav
Oh,
up there.
Aerox losing it and is out into Abby, spinning out.
Oh, he's lucky to be hitting the rear in first. Could have probably cost him the race if he went in straight ahead.
Yeah, he
Fair
did have
enough.
a bit of a moment even last lap because he did lose out of position to War Vortex. And now War Vortex is now sizing up a move on Red Devil. This man's back at it. He's already done his one stop and won. Rant, however, because of his misfortune, has gone ahead and retired from the session.
Interesting. Come on, Rant. I had expected to see some more fighting spirit, buddy. It's okay. Never mind. As we see cars going through turn 1 and corps, it's really difficult on high fuel load to actually go flat out through there. You need to have that perfect turn in, or you might just end up having to coast a bit. So it's really so you could understand how the drivers are losing quite a bit there. Coupled with these two issues of full fuel load and actually not being able to go flat through it, there's also dirty air. So it's really difficult. It seems easy, but it's actually quite difficult to follow through corners at full speed. So here we can see various drivers negotiating on different speed. As you may see, Vortex pushing down out of the corner. And he gets the move
Devil
done.
tried to
Solidly.
get into the action
that's-
as well, and amazing, a little bit of a tap there. Don losing out there another 3 positions. Mr. G, another superbly opportunistic overtake there, getting Red Devil off guard into T1 and moves up into P10. That's fantastic there, driving there. Paiza now up into P4, going to be in P3. Great showing from him so far, starting on the medium tires. Still has that one stop to go, so he's not exactly the net leader in this situation. Thermo getting swallowed up in there by Rebel. Or is it the other way around?
Keeping it close. They got a Thermo getting a better exit. Very easy. He's burning ERS. He's trying to get the gap. Rebel not necessarily placing his car anywhere.
Oh, sending it. But just unfortunately going to be backfiring because BK19 just swallows him up with that bad exit, because you really need to carry that speed all the way to Maggotts, Beckett and Chapel. And yeah, he's going to be further swallowed up by his teammate right now.
That was a nice piece of dangerous driving. I enjoy this. Gets the adrenaline running.
For sure, for sure.
This could be an overtake montage we're looking at. And now that you're talking about net leader, I think the net lead right now is BK19 because he's on the mediums to end it if he's aware of that. But with the
Ooh, getting chopped off by Rebel. Vortex taking the escape route, and Thermo and Mr. G and Red Devil going out for it. Vortex is getting an illegal overtake, a warning, and he has to give back the position. But what manic scenes in one single corner there, because Thermo's moved up back into P9 and so does Red Devil. Mr. G, however, just taking the cake, man. He's so bloody opportunistic right now, it's a joke. He was in P11 just a few laps ago and is already up into P7.
as we were talking about unfortunate events for Abarpan, I think Wilster G is as fortunate as it gets this race. Having the
For sure.
race served up to him, and he's like not regretting it even once. He's taking the opportunity by his throat and he's pushing as much as possible. And that turn one incident, that was some amazing thing. How the drivers just delta split around the slow driver. That is a really fast corner and really sharp on the drivers to actually avoid that carnage and get through ahead. As we settle into the race now, and the battle for P7 is on. You can see, as it was yesterday, the P7 to P12 is always a DRS range, man. it's really interesting the coincidence. But yeah,
Yep. Long train all the way from Piyush Gandhi is going to be slowly swallowed up from Rebel all the way down to BK19, and they're all on the same tire too, on those medium tires. Vortex simply getting that better exit, but cannot seem to find a way through his teammate, and definitely looks like it's holding him up. Got that
yes.
Vortex deployed, but nothing doing there. Faizan
As
now
we can.
really close to Shalala. Did he make a
No,
mistake
no,
in
yeah. Mother
good
passed Faizan, I think, at the end of Warrington. I don't know if he made a mistake or not, but they were awfully close. So
Captain
probably.
Cheesecake retiring in the pits, and for another retiree there, unfortunately.
Come
But yeah,
on, guys.
Sherlock has moved into the podium positions.
Catching
Great,
the
great
curve.
recovery drive from him.
No, not ideal, but Faizan getting to the
Oh,
chapel
there's a bit of
section.
contact between Mr. G and Rebel. It's awesome slide and an amazing hold by Mr. G. Now he's going to be eaten up. We're going three
Oh,
wide into the end of the hangar straight. What is
five
happening
cars.
right now? Beacon 19 slots inside. We've got Red Devil going wide, gets punted by Thermo, losing it, and he's out of here.
And it's another safety car.
Not yet, but it's yellow and it's a VSC.
SD.
My God.
That was never going to end well. But uh, given the circumstances, I was kind of expecting carnage into the store itself, but it was after store. So I guess fair play to everyone to get through that cleanly.
this 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 track really brings out the competition and the fierceness that is in tier 2. Man, it's been an amazing race so far. We are almost at the
Five
half.
second penalty for Varvotex collision with BK19. Not what he wanted.
Luckily, no damage there. Will be kicking himself for ruining his race chance right now. Chris by
Chris
um,
Pye should pit right now for the mediums, and I can see Abhi has pit for it. So this slots his race in perfectly. I don't see where.
back.
Can we check where Chris Pye is on the field?
Chris by is the end of the hangar straight.
Oh,
Yeah,
did he
little
just pass the pit line when the PSC came out?
could be. Now BK19 trying to side to side the move to Amol, getting a mess of the corner, and Wilson G smashing into the back of him.
He
Vortex
really
getting
wants to
caught out,
pass him,
and
doesn't he?
BK19 as well. Dawn 29 now picking up the scraps. It's got an amazing exit from the lot of them. Let's see what's happening right now. Again, 3 wide, the second time in a row. BK19, G, and Thermo, all of them have damage. They're all the way to the pits, and what is getting the move done? Catching Dawn completely off guard there. What is taking the champ out of here? Man, that was some
That
stellar.
was a scene to behold, man.
Uh,
These guys are like magnets to each other. They're really in it for the in.
Chris By is pitted at lap 12. He's come out behind Abhi 17 with just a lap fresher
Ooh,
tires. He's got about 2 seconds to make up. So,
that's almost 4 seconds Chris lost. That's very interesting how the race is turning out now. Let's talk about the guys that are far down. Abarpan leading a charge back. So Abarpan is quite far away from anywhere in the points, but he's really going at it.
ooh, Abhi 17 just nudging Sohamde. Really needs to get through of it, but nothing there. Abhi 17 losing it and luckily holds on to it because his rival is right at the back of him in just over a second, and that exit is really not helping his case.
Ooh, Chris also sliding it through there. Seemed like he was sliding through there because the car was definitely loaded into cops there. Taking a brilliant line,
Faizan
downshifting heavily.
is
Faizan,
actually keeping up with Shadallah. He's not letting go, staying with him in
can
that
we have
DRS train.
can we go on board with Madhav for a second? See his ERS? Because I saw that I think Faizan had like 40-ish%. Oh, Madhav is clearly sitting around 70% of ERS. That's interesting.
Well, Abhi 17 is now stuck in a DRS train. Believe it or not, he's stuck behind two hard runners who've got older tires, and his rival is right on the back of him. This man is stuck
Am
right
I
now.
going to see a triple overtake? Come on, this has to be good exit. Come on, guys, get that power
Sonde
on.
getting a burst of an exit. Are we trying to line a move around the outside? Sonde is closing the door, but luckily
Did
it
he close his
gets
DRS? What? Soam actually closes DRS mid straight. Interesting.
Sonde gets double overtaken by Abhi and Chris by in one swoop of a corner. Now Washington Nirma, the next victim in the charge
Washing
back.
powder Nirma got a call from Frank Williams to hold off the pack. This is effectively good deep play. Nirma can hold them up with just longer, so this all helps Madhav.
And B70 is not able to make a move of it. Chris Bike goes around the outside and gets the move
What a
done.
move! What a move! Fair
What a
play to Abhi to give him
champ.
space. That was an amazing overtake. That has to be the highlight of the race and the highlight of the weekend, I guess, for me. That was a brilliant move by Chris. Send it completely, had the grip, used it completely, and actually even fair play mode to Abhi to show the sportsmanship, to give him
Thought
the
about
space.
sending it again, but Washington Nirma, solid block in the track right now.
Oh, Nirma losing it a bit on the exit, and
They're
Chris is
still
probably
side by
gonna
side
get done
going
with
into
him.
turn 1. Nirma still holding it on the inside into turn 3. This is some ridiculously great defending there, but now with those fresher tires and the softer compound, will Abhi go around the outside? No, thinks of the switchback, but Nirma and Chris by getting that oversteer. Abhi 17 on the outside going to the Wellington straight, still side by side. Who's gonna come
Ooh,
out
can
with
he
himself?
go on the outside?
Oh, he swiped him, and that's gonna be a big old damage.
I
And F in
guess,
chat for Washington Nirma for that stellar
yes,
defending job.
Nirma, I guess, outbraked himself just a tiny bit there, and it could have been Abhi also sending him. We don't know yet. The camera didn't help us. But yeah, as we see Chris again pulling back that 2 second gap to Abhi and leading away now. As we see the leaders of the race currently right now, Rebel, Faizan, and Madhav, they all have to pit right now. Where do you think they'll end up pitting? And what's the gap to currently the leader, I guess, which is Wawatex slash Chris Bai? I can't really tell right now who's the net leader.
I think Vortex is the net leader, but he's got
Yes, wow.
older tires, so that
Oh,
gap of around 10 seconds will definitely come down. Faisal still keeping it up there with Sharalak. Man, this guy has some really good pace around Silverstone, because Sharalak is not able to dispose of him. Very, very interesting scenes here.
it's interesting now. I think, can we take a look at Wowtex's tires? Does he have telemetry enabled for us? No, that's some very mafia stuff, man. Come on.
Already having
Anyways,
a word with him. This is no cool, man. No cool.
he's also running low on ERS. Let's see if we can go. That line through, I guess that's Woodcut, post Barrington, the left-hander. That if you take too much of a sharp line hugging the inside, you really kill the tires each lap. And if you take a much squarer line, you can probably save one tire where which really helps a lot.
Well, the gap between our net leaders P4 and P5 is slowly coming down. It's hovering around the 8-second mark right now. These mediums are still good for another, I'd say, 5 laps until you can start to really see the degradation on them. So let's
I
see
mean,
if the gap really does come down.
it doesn't. Given the fact that how Wowtex's race panned out post lap one, this looks right now like Chris is really putting the charge on him. He's really closing down the gap by each lap. I don't think Wowtex will be able to hold on to it, especially within 5-6 laps when the mediums start to really lose their time. So it's really going to be an interesting race now. And Madhav pits right now. Let's see. He's putting on the softs. And now it's on. The race is on, boys. Everyone's chasing each other. Faizan trying to overcut. I think we should move on to Faizan now. Will he pit this lap? Is he going to be burning ERS?
He will probably be coming in soon, but he's still got good amount of VRS left. Vortex now wants to dispose of the second racing
Oh,
point.
it's Rebel War. Really
Very careful, Vortex.
some poltergeist shit going on right now. I've I've got my cross in my hand. Ooh, whoa, whoa, Rebel Wars front lefts are 60%. Interesting. He's really going to be understeering into corners right now.
Look at the exit is getting out onto the anchor straight. That's so much more. But having
Burning the
said that, both of them are
ERS.
burning the ARS. Who looks to go around the inside. It's going to
And
be a
that's a
fairly
clean
straightforward move.
overtake. Rebel will try to look on the inside, but no, he thinks better of it and he goes into the pits. I mean, that's a fair decision. Tires are on the limit right now. And who's pitting in front of him? Am I seeing that? Is that Faizan? Yes, Faizan has pit right now. I want to see where Faizan comes out to Madhav. Is he going to be losing some more time or what? And yeah, it is the undercut. The undercut is so strong around here, especially on the alternate strategy.
Yep, those you can
Er-
definitely see from Rebel's tires 60% wear. So it's this outlap from Shalak on those fresh soft tires would have blitz Faizan. He's not even out of the pits. Shalak is already through into T3. It's a big gap there.
The undercut is super powerful, especially on the alternate strategy.
Yep.
And on the conventional one, it cut is super strong. So see how it goes. Now as we settle into the race, I see Vortex has to push those tires. Now this is effectively the final charts which we're looking at, if I'm not wrong.
Yep. Now another really pin on the coffin, or really hurdle to overcome. Abhurban, you can see is going all over the place trying to get a move on washing powder Nirma, who you can see from the brilliant defending he's done so far, he's not going to budge at all. Abhurban unfortunately botches up Cops completely, and Faizan with those fresh soft tires gets that move done easily. Now
And it's
Faizan,
time for the Williams to be the number 2. And is he going to defend it? Is he going to defend it? No, it doesn't have actually the.
he should definitely send it, but then if his past experiences do him any good, it's better to back out of it and call it a day. Abarpan now going to take the opportunity from that bad exit from Washington Nirma, going around the outside into Whale.
Clean racing, fair racing. I like this is a beautiful sight. Barpan gave washing powder all the space, even though he didn't necessarily have to. There, fair play. The track was very tight there. As we see, washing powder hold on for the lead right now. As he moved back to Wilsterji, he had massive damage and he was effectively fighting with Vortex at one point for the lead of the race. Had to drop back. Same goes with BK19. Also,
There's a little bit of a
leading at the
contact
point.
there, but still both of them are alive. Will Nirma block the inside? No, he lets it go. There's more contact there, and Abarpan spun out. Damn. No, wait. No, Nirma spun out again. This man cannot catch a break into going into that corner.
That's a
Poor guy.
shame.
Poor guy.
Even
He's F in
as
chat
much
for
shame, as much shame as the camera control from our very own Kapilache, as we didn't get to see anything of that incident. As we had, and Rebel War came out behind Wilsterji, who had to pit, who had penalties served. My God, Rebel was bleeding quite up there, and now, so I guess everyone. The undercut was so strong here that Madhav is like clear of the pack he was racing with.
That extra lap really hurt both Faizan and Rebel because Shalulak is all the way up there in P5.
And honorable mention to Soam Day, who pit on the hards on the safety car, and he's gone to P4. He didn't have damage into lap 1. I don't know if that's true or not, but he did pit under the safety car and came out on the hards. Initial safety cars. Like, props to him, man. He's in P4, comfortably running, and Madhav is catching him at 10th per second. I mean, 10th
per sector, not a
per
sector,
sector.
per corner, if you will. And gap is coming on very, very quickly, but maybe, just maybe, Soham Day has a chance of finishing ahead of Faizan. I don't want to jinx it because we've all still got over 7 to 8 laps to go, but so far so good.
And on now update on the net leaders. Last time we were with them, Chris By had a 8 second interval to Vawatex and is brought down to 6.7 seconds now. And that should be coming down quicker by the moment as Vawatex tires drop off. It would be nice to know if we could see Vawatex tire wear. Can we go on to see Chris's tire wear? I'm pretty sure he has his telemetry enabled, right? Like to see his wear after 6 laps. 22%. Interesting.
Yeah,
Not
his
really
tires can
promising,
easily
but
make it to the end. He can push like there's no tomorrow there. So he's
yeah.
set there. Mercedes boys now battling it out into sector 3. Verpen on those really old hard tires, which not making it any easy for his teammate there.
Yeah,
But
these hard tires are really struggling out of those very crucial traction zones like Luffield and the club and etc. Stuff like that. Even this corner right now, next into onto the Wellington Straight, being
Verpen
on the
going
hards is really
deep there,
compromising.
easy. Almost look like a curated move between the Mercedes boys, switching position. Now Wilster with those medium tires moves up into P8. He's got
And
his
Piyush, did you notice that Piyush Gandhi's bot is still into points? Well, easily into points.
huge bot
Is he?
definitely making good work of those tires and staying out there in P6 right now. Paisan, really, yeah, I don't know. Just shows the pace of the bot in tier 2, I guess.
And we see a yellow flag somewhere south of Luffield. Yep.
Yep, now could have been Dawn. Harry thinking of a move, but doesn't get the right line
Such
on
a
the
beautiful
space.
sight. Beautiful sight when there's so many different strategies on the track right now. You rarely see that, don't you?
Yep, definitely.
Watching
That's
Powder
Septica really
Nirma
spicing things up.
sitting duck for Hydrox. Not really burning his ERS, Harry. Need to be
Thinking to
burning
go
your
around the
ERS.
outside. Ooh la la. But he gets the
Gets the
move
move
done.
down.
Wow. And Tomo also keeps the door open, puts his foot in there and gets the move done. Awesome stuff there. Now Tomo has 7 lap old softs, while Harry has those 16 lap old mediums which he pitted during the safety car in lap 4. So let's see if he's got that additional pace because Tomo looking really feisty right now.
Thermo has like half the ERS of Harry Rocks. So Harry Rocks, even half, I'm saying wrong, is quarter the ERS. So Harry Rocks is playing this mine perfectly. He will defend from everyone that he needs to and hopefully try to aim for the points. Both these drivers really eyeing for that P10 as we've all been in that position where the points are just so close and you really want them. So props as you get another yellow sector on
Dawn's
Lafille and
getting
it's
out.
Dawn is off. No man, come on Dawn.
Need to
Having
have a
so
word
much
with him.
ERS. Yes, I think he needed my encouragements in the Renault room. But yeah, it's fine. Right now, as we see, the biggest losers post half the race are Vilstraji and BK19 because they were running effectively with Vavotex at one point. So it's really a shame to see them go down like this. As we see Faizan approaching the Piyush bot, but can't
Oh,
necessarily
brilliant
negotiate.
switch back and Harry Rocks keeps his position there. He's not taking any prisoners, but Tomo down the inside into the last corner.
Brilliant
There's
racing
a
by
bit of a
two folks.
swipe
And
there. Harry Rocks losing it. That's not the cleanest of overtakes. That could very well be a report there.
Harry Rocks having to mount the curb there, which is not necessarily very advisable in the heavy traction zone. So shame, but it's racing
Oh, his
as
contact
Montoya once
again.
said.
People do not want to be giving any room into this section right now with Vodcut and Love
I
Field.
mean, it's more to do with the trajectory people take. They really try to break themselves deep into the corner. So going side by side there is really difficult. As we see dirty air affecting Mr. G there, tried to load the car in. As Faizan keeping his position, he should be overtaking the bot right now, but he's struggling on the softs, which is quite what shouldn't be the case. As we see a new fastest lap by Chris by 27.5, blistering pace.
Gap is now down to 4 seconds between the lead and Wilson. Going around the outside. And an awesome move again. Just like
What a
Harry
move.
Rocks.
What a move by Wilstoji. And Faizan getting himself deep into that corner, not really helping his case at all. He needs to be.
Vortex has spun out and he's moved into P2. Must have had a bit of a
Ooh.
moment there with those really worn out medium tires. And he's thrown away the
Hmm.
win to Chris By. Any thoughts?
Man, that's a shame. He really. It was just 3 laps to go, and the gap was definitely in it for him to not. He didn't necessarily need to push that hard, but I guess we don't really know with the tires. He could have been already on the fall off. But yeah, it's a shame. He's still into P2, and given how his race started and went, it's still a decent finish. But he could have had a win.
I'm sure he'll be kicking himself because that was an easy win in the back.
Abhi trying to now push. He's going quite quick, but I don't think he'll be able to catch Vortex as Mother stays in P5.
Just a moment while I try to get Harry Rocks back into the game.
Do you want to quickly? I don't see any battles about to be happening right now other than Avarpan probably sizing up overtake on Rebel War. But Rebel seems to have sort of. No, Avarpan is actually getting closer and closer to Rebel on the harder compound.
Look at the exit that weekend 19's got on those 10 lap fresher harder tires. He's literally on the gearbox of Washimoto Nirma. Can he make that move stick? Think better
Opting
of
not
it.
to use the ERS to overtake. Probably he's got the move planned out for the Wellington straight. And ooh, that's a dive and a half. Not really breaking himself into the corner, not getting the traction down completely.
Superb defending by Nirma. Both the boys keeping it really
Nirma
clean.
managing to keep the position every time. And I think he'd like to have a word with a few drivers in terms of the way they pushed him out, because I didn't see him anywhere not defending cleanly.
Yeah. It's
As we
unfortunate.
see
The
people
aggression.
fighting with their wheel out of this corner,
It
trying to
almost
get
looks
the
like
traction down.
Nirma is Kimi. He really gives the space to everyone, but unfortunately unable to be on the receiving ends of things as well. With BK19 going
Around the
around the
outside.
outside with that supreme traction, moves up into P13. Nice stuff there.
Clean
And
move, did
Nirma
it done.
is
Nirma
not
burning that
done
ERS.
there yet. He's deployed all of his ERS going into Cobb's
Ooh,
corner. Back
that's
to
a camera shot, and I think Nirma had to back out from the inside line there. Fair play to him.
unfortunate there, really unfortunate because that was a great counter attack if you will, but unfortunately
Yeah.
we could not make it stick.
As we see the leaders now, again, Abhi 17 closing in on Vortex, but I don't think he's going to make the gap down.
This is a penalty situation between these two right now.
Oh, yeah, let's have a look at that since there's not many battles going up now.
So it should be on your top right.
Oh, so it's 6 seconds for Abhi, and let's look at Vortex. Yes, 3 seconds. That's not gonna happen. What about Krisbai? Krisbai has 3 seconds too. So, this can be interesting. If Krisbai picks up another penalty in the last lap, that could hand Vortex the win.
What about Someday? Has he kept it clean?
Someday is 3 seconds too, exactly. So we're gonna go down to Madhav, who has 3 seconds too, so there won't be no position change there. Vistoji with the 9 seconds. Oh, interesting. We won't bother with Piyush. Faizan has 15 seconds, so
Oh
he
la
is
la.
effectively going out of points with that. Rebel Bow with 6 seconds. Abarpan with the 6
trying to
seconds.
size of a move there going to Maggots and Beckett's very dangerous position there and promptly gets cut off because that's not the place where you want to be making such a
Yeah, Barpan's been sizing up that move for the past 2 laps. I would like to see the battle sometime else. Can we go down with the penalties? Let's see Thermos. Thermos 9 seconds. Already want to be helping himself there. 6 seconds for Harry Dogs.
position for
BK19
Harry.
15 probably a position for Harry because Faizan will drop down. Will he though? Yeah, he should drop down below Harry Dogs. And someone should be at 9 seconds.
It's a
Just
final
check
lap
out-
of the Grand Prix right now.
People sending in, going to make opportunistic moves.
Faizan
Risk.
really on the back foot right now. I don't know where his pace went because he's struggling to get anything out of it. Abarpan and Rebel would want to make this final overtake done in the Grand Prix. Faizan having nothing on his plate. Rebel going around the outside. Can they both keep it clean? No, there's a bit of aji-paji. Abarpan now trying to use the switchback line very wide, but keeping throttle pinned, and unfortunately doesn't get the best of exits there. But
I
yeah,
mean, those tires are falling off right now. Falling off would be a, yes, correct apt term, as we see a 70% wear on his front left.
having said that, Chris Bike goes through the last corner to win at the British Grand Prix. Vortex, unfortunately, in second place. 5 seconds added to him, and still a B17 does not get that position. But going back to
Just
the
by two
action,
tenths.
just by 2 tenths. It's hard, but it is fair. What can you do about it? Faizan keeping that position out intact. Soham Day with an unbelievable finish. P4 with 21 lap old hard tire. Looked like it was all lost for him in the beginning, but that was a fantastic finish for him. He
We
has
take
to be
back
my
our
driver of the
words.
day. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
that was a fantastic drive for him. Faizan moving down the field, both Rebel and Abarpan, just 25 thousandths of a second separating P9 and P10. But yeah,
Interesting.
will you believe it or not? Harry Rocks got a penalty at the end of all of this, and now I believe it was a 5 second that was not served. Harry Rocks finishes behind Thermo. So that is really, really sad.
Yes, even the game agrees with us. Who would knew that people with a hard-on could drive so fast?
Well said.
Brilliant performance by Abarpan and Somde on those tires, given that they were at the bottom of the grid on lap 2 and lap 3. It's really brilliant performance from them. And this race was amazing to watch, to be honest. Five cars going into Storm. It's an iconic shot. I hope you guys go back and watch that. I'm pretty sure most of the drivers won't be in the same page as us as the enjoyment and probably have some strong words after the race. But that's just racing.
Yep. No doubt about that. Let's see if we can get the podium boys on for an interview. Just quickly taking a snap of the race director. Coolios. Okay, let's see who's where. Let's see if we can get anyone in. Not looking too good. We got Vortex. We can bring him here. Abhi 17 and Chris Bye. Welcome, 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 gentlemen. An awesome
Congratulations.
Silverstone Grand Prix for all three of you. Baba, take it away.
Yeah, let's start with you, Abhi. How was the race for you, man?
It was okay. Uh, Chris Bay was too fast for me. Powertex also was too fast for me. It's the maximum I could do. No regrets. I'll gladly take P3.
True, true. You were battling with Chris, and I would like to ask you, how do you feel about not pitting on the first safety car? Do you, in hindsight, it obviously was the correct decision given the VSC that came out later. But did you feel
Yeah.
like you were in any trouble from the guys on the mediums behind, like
No,
Powertex?
even Chris Bay didn't pit. I saw that also. And I thought the mediums wouldn't last for so long. But yeah, pitting maybe would have been the right decision. But also, my other teammate Harry had to pit that lap. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, fair play. Understand. Powertex, I hope you can hear us. You almost
Yes,
had the
yes.
race. Oh, that's nice. I can hear you too. You almost had the race in the back there, dude. We didn't catch your incident. I think. Were your tires falling off towards the end?
Uh, yeah, they were like 70%, I think. I didn't really see them. They were approaching orange mark.
Interesting. You could have held on to the gap there, but yeah, that's a good strategy call from you to go on to them because the mediums do tend to last so long. But yeah, fair
Yeah,
play.
yeah,
You almost had it.
yeah. I think this race, despite what other people think about the result, I think this is like the worst performance from my side in the entire league so far. Because quali, I was able to do much better, but I didn't. And then in race, I made too many mistakes. And then I think I could have won it even after those two mistakes I did. Because when I was trying to overtake cars when the safety car came in and so on and so such, I think I lost around 10 to 15 seconds right there. So yeah, I'm really disappointed with this, but especially after the work I put in throughout the week. But I'll try to do better next race.
So
I mean, it's no worries, dude. Like, you were down at the back of the pack at the start of the race, so I was saying that throughout the stream as well. That it's a good fight back from you. You should have gone away with the win, but you can take what you get.
just coming back to your point, was it a clean overtake that Chris by made on you, or did you lose it somewhere? We just gifted him the win.
No, no, no. I made a mistake in turn three and I lost around 6 seconds or something.
Damn, really
It's a
unfortunate there.
shame. It's a
Chris
shame.
by great,
Yeah,
great recovery drive. Awesome. Just,
thanks,
just,
man.
just stayed up there in the front throughout the race and just nailed it out of the park. Any thoughts on your race? How did it go for you?
I have to say that I had an amazing race engineer. Thanks, Rizal, for that. Like he really helped me out throughout the race. And don't worry, we did not cheat. And, and the quali went fine. Like I faced some traffic and I invalidated my last lap. Like that was supposed to be the main lap, so I invalidated it. So yeah, actually I was happy with P2. And coming to the race, I was expecting some wheel to wheel action because, like, it's Silverstone, right? Everyone, it's a pleasure to have wheel to wheel battles here, but that did not happen much. So, yeah, I was just trying to be consistent and not making too many mistakes like I did in Austria.
Yeah, true. Your overtake into Maggots and Beckett's was legit the highlight of
Yeah,
my week. That was amazing, and that was props to you for sending to it, and props to Abhi also for respecting the car alongside and giving the space. That was some amazing
yeah,
thing.
he was very much respectful. Thanks, Abhi.
And the VSC really saved you guys, I would think, for a bit there. Because what was your plan if the VSC hadn't come out? Can you shed some light on that?
Actually, my plan was to go on a basics of two mediums, but right when I crossed the pit lane entry, the VSC came out, and I was like, "Oh damn, Abhi got lucky,"
Yeah, yeah.
and he did actually.
Yeah, that was what we thought too, because like Abhi pitted and the undercut is super strong, especially on the strategy we're running on. So
Yeah,
yeah, you were 2 seconds up on him, and then he was 2 seconds up on you, but then you clawed back the gap, so it was very very stellar drive from you.
yeah. Thank you.
Well,
And
you may not have had so much wheel to wheel racing throughout the race, but the rest of the pack really had no shortage of that. We had at 1.5 cars going side by side into stores, so this race
Wow,
is nothing short of exemplary from our tier 2 boys. So
I'm
thanks
just gonna
again.
watch the stream.
Yeah, you definitely should. That wraps it up from our sides. Congratulations, Chris, by Vortex and Abhi for an outstanding performance yet again. And that's about it from our side. Thank you, everyone. We are on break once again next weekend for Diwali. So go home to your family and enjoy your weekend. We might have a special event noon, just so maybe stay tuned for that. We'll let you know in a while's time. But thank you again so much for tuning in.